Hello BookTube, Sarah here, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. Today is Saturday, December the 1st, and it is about 8:15 a.m. I am coming to you a bit early this morning, and I will be doing going forward for the next 24 days, I will be doing 2 clips a day. One shorter one, and then my normal longer one later in the day when I tell you about what I've been reading. Guaranteed, I might actually have more clips than that. If I go anywhere, if I do anything, you know, it is December, so we shall see. But the reason I'm going to be doing a small clip every morning, and I'm not going to do this explanation every time. I might do it every Saturday morning. We shall see. I don't know. It depends on, you know, if I get no viewers and things like that, somebody who's new and doesn't know. So I've got 2 advent calendars here to open up. So I thought I would do a quick opening with you guys and then move on. And then later on in the day, when I do my book update and stuff like that, I can tell you guys about my thoughts, because the first advent calendar, so one of these I put together myself and one of them I bought. This is the one that I bought. And this is the 24 Days of Tea from David's Tea. And this is the 2018 edition, not 2019, 2018 edition. And yeah, I have been getting one of these for about the past 5 years, and I love it. I look forward to it every single year. So you get a different tea every day for the whole month, from the 1st until the 24th of December. And yeah, I'm super excited. So I will be opening that one. And the other one is one that I made. And this is actually using last year's calendar. So I always keep the year before. I hold on to it. And then at the end of this year, I will recycle this. But this is last year's. It says 2017 on the side. The 2018 one isn't actually labeled on the side. I'm a little disappointed in that, but regardless. So this is last year's calendar, and it's not filled with tea. It's filled with yarn. Because in each of these little pockets here, I got my husband to do it for me. What I do is throughout the year is every time I finish a project that I use sock yarn for, I wind up a ball of it and I put it aside. And then at, you know, when it comes time to do the advent calendar, my husband fills this for me. So I don't know what's in each square, or what's in each of these. And I usually don't have 24 square, like enough for 24. So I'll add extra minis that I have, because I do have a bag of mini skeins that I use for a project. So in December, I'll show you guys the project, because I haven't shown this in quite some time. And, you know, I have a lot of new people who might not be aware of this one. But one of my ongoing knitting projects is this blanket. And I refer to it as the sock yarn blanket of insanity, because my goal is to have 1,600 squares put into this blanket in order to complete it. I'm at 328 right now. So I'll just show you guys a little bit of a corner, because it's kind of hard to hold up with 300 squares in here. But this is essentially, I will need to weave in ends later. This is essentially what it looks like. So you do these little mitered squares and you attach them to each other. So I will try and get a picture. Maybe I'll try and get a picture of what it looks like now laying on the bed, and I'll insert it, you know, after this little clip or something. Or maybe I'll do that, you know what, I'll do that on Friday so you guys can see the new ones like all together that got put in. But yeah, so it's rather large. So this is just folded in half. So that should tell you. So my goal in December is to add a square a day for the Advent. Now last year I did 24 squares in December, one for every day of Advent. But the year before that I did 31. I ended up putting a square in every day in the month of December. That is actually my goal for this year as well. I'd like to do that leading up to New Year's Eve, and then maybe on the 31st put 2 in, just to make it even, because I'm doing my rows by 2. So I will add the next one here and then the next one on top of it. So I do 2 rows and then I go straight across. So yeah, so I'll be adding those. So like when I come back tonight to talk to you guys about my reading update, I will talk about the tea that I drank and let you know my thoughts on it, and also show you guys the completed square. So that's kind of my goal for the month of December. I thought that would be fun. So yeah, so like I said, this explanation is not going to happen every time. I'm just going to go ahead and open these. You know, this little clip will probably be only 2 or 3 minutes long. So let's do that now, because I have last week's vlog to finish editing. I only have Friday's video to finish, and then I can get that hopefully posted soon. But anyway, so we will start with the tea calendar, because that's the one I'm excited about both of them, but the tea calendar always excites me. So we will open this up, and actually you got an extra gift this year, and I'll show you guys. So in here you actually got a spoon. Last year you got a there was an ornament. There's an ornament on my tree from David's from last year. But this year you got the spoon. Oh, and that's pretty. So you got the perfect spoon as your like little gift. So when you're scooping out your tea, that's the amount that you would need, right? Sorry, Goran's crying because I'm not paying attention to him. But yeah, so that was the little gift. So I've been waiting for now to take that out. So very excited. Scoops the perfect amount of tea every time. Hand wash only. That's okay. I don't have a dishwasher. Anyway, I am the dishwasher. So we're looking for number 1. I'll show you guys the inside because it's really pretty. I do quite like this year. It's very, very pretty. And what they've done different this year is that all of these have little strings on them. So when you remove the tea, you could actually hang them as ornaments on your tree if you so desired. But I'm going to put them back so I can use this again next year. So number 1 is down here at the bottom. Take that out. So there's number 1. And it's like a little box. So I've got to open the little box here. I don't want to wreck the box because I want to, like I said, I want to be able to reuse it next year. Oh, and you get a little satchel this time. Okay. So they used to put them in little tins that I don't have one handy, but I actually use it for stitch markers for knitting. But this year you get little baggies. I don't know if I like the baggies, but it's Candy Cane Crush, which I do have. Oh, it's a resealable bag, which is always good. But yeah, it's Candy Cane Crush this year. Ooh, this is a good one. It's low caffeine. And it says 1 to 2 perfect spoons, so you know how much to put in there, right? But yeah, so that looks great. This is a favorite of mine. Give me a second. I will turn the box over, and I actually have a bunch of this in my cupboard, but I will be drinking this later today, because that's the goal with the calendar. So Candy Cane Crush. Bear with. They're all listed on the back. And I believe this is still available. Minty Holiday Classic is all it says. Black tea, white chocolate, peppermint candy, peppermint oil. Yeah, so there's actually, I don't know if you guys can see it. The glare is kind of bad. But it's got little candy cane pieces and little white chocolate chips in here. Yeah, like I said, really, really yummy. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Oh, that'll be good later on today. Now let's open up the yarn. I'm very excited to see what the yarn is. So number 1 is up here at the top. Oh, it's got one I gotta wind up. Oh, yay. Okay. So there's my yarn for today. So these ones, they had these little containers and then they had these little metal last year, and then the tea was in these little metal things. But I'm actually kind of glad it went in a bag because there was actually a couple of the metal ones last year. I couldn't open it. Like something, I guess when it got screwed on, it got stripped or something. Like the thingies got stripped on it and I couldn't actually open it. I had to cut into it, so it was a bit of a pain. Maybe a lot of people were complaining, but with these ones, so you have this and then you turn it over. And then what happens is, and I'll show you the inside of this one, is at the end, it makes a scene on the back. So there's where number 1 was. So it makes this really pretty scene on the back. Of course, I've already seen what it is because I had it last year, but yeah, so there we go. So there's my advents for the day, you guys. Oh, let me show you the yarn. I just kind of pulled it out. So there's the yarn. It's a pretty sparkly yarn. This is from a company called Fiber Stash. My friend Mandy gave this to me at Rhinebeck back in October because she got one from her, and then I think she split it up, one for each of us. So there'll be more than enough in here to put a square in my blanket. So yes, I'm excited about that. Anyway, guys, that's it. Like I said, I tried to make this quick, but the ones going forward will be very quick. And I will talk to you guys later tonight with a reading update and a knitting update for the week too, because I got a lot of projects done this last week. So I'll talk to you guys then. Bye. Hi guys, it is Saturday night. It is about 9:30 at night, and I am here to do my my knitting update for the week and my reading update all in one. So yeah, so as I'm going to do for the first 24 days of December for the Advent or whatever, I am going to talk to you guys about the tea that I got today. So I'm actually drinking it because I've had this one before. I'm very familiar with it. I have a big container of it in my tea cupboard. So this is a favorite of mine. Oh, it smells so good. I would take a sip, but I just brewed it, so it's a little warm right now. But yes, I absolutely love it. It is a favorite of mine. So I am enjoying that this evening while I'm sitting here relaxing, watching some booktube and doing some knitting. So I will show you guys my square for the day. Let me pull my blanket out of its home, out of its bag. Excuse me. So there's the square that I put in today. Oh, what just happened to my voice? That was weird. So that's the square, the one that I showed you guys this morning. The dyer is Fiber Nymph Dye Works, but I do not know the colorway name or anything at all like that. She was handing out minis at Rhinebeck back in October, and I didn't get one, but my friend Mandy got one, and they were quite decently sized. So she actually split it up and gave a half to me and kept a half for herself. So that's nice. So I got that one now in the blanket. So yeah, so that is a little update on the Advent from this morning. And I'll do that every night. I'll just kind of tell you guys about the tea of the day and show you guys my blanket square. So I hope that's cool. So knitting wise this week, guys, I got a lot done. I got 3 projects completed. Pretty good. So we'll start off with the socks. Oops, I dropped something. Excuse me. So I finished my socks. These are just, I called them my Pumpkin Princess socks because the yarn is the Pumpkin Princess colorway from Fiber Stash Dye Works. Sorry, I almost said Fiber Nymph again. So I had the first sock completed, and I had the second sock to here. I was where the little pumpkin stitch marker is, so I got all that done. It wasn't very much. This was a really, really quick knit. This was just a plain vanilla sock with a rounded toe and the Fish Lips Kiss heel. It's kind of like my own personal vanilla sock pattern. And when I say vanilla sock, it just means you're knitting round and round. There's no pattern to this sock. Very basic sock. So I'm happy now I've shown you guys. All the ends on everything that I finished have been woven in. So these are ready to wear essentially, and I plan on wearing them tomorrow when I go out with my mom in the morning to bingo, or for the whole day, but you know, I'll be wearing them obviously tomorrow. I still see Big Bird when I see this colorway. I can't help it. It's the orange and the pink. But yeah, I love them, and I did cast on a new pair of socks today, so that's exciting. So I'll show you guys those in a minute. Put those down there. Oops. The other thing I finished a Christmas gift. I finished the hat for my aunt. This is the Twisted Gravel pattern that was designed by my friend Brandy Miller. I will link to all these patterns except for my vanilla. Well, I'll link to the Fish Lips Kiss heel in the description box below because it's a $1 pattern. It's like 15 pages. It shows you how to measure your foot and all these things. You don't need to do all that. All you need is the actual pattern itself. It is one of the easiest heel patterns I've ever done. It's the only one I do because it's the one that fits my foot the best. But yeah, it's if you download it and you have any questions, because you know, like I said, it goes a lot into how to measure your foot and stuff like that. You don't, in my opinion, you don't really need all that. All you need is the pattern itself. But it's pretty spectacular. But anyway, like I said, I will link all these patterns in the description box below. So my little marker is where I was last Saturday when I showed you guys. So I got the hat finished. I will put it on and show you. So it is a super duper cute hat. Put it on correctly. Felt like something just pulled. Maybe it was this. I'm really not sure. Anyway, super cute hat pattern. It's going to fit her really well. The hat is meant to actually be floppy and like have some floof or some poof at the back, but my aunt I know would not care for that, so I just knit it enough just to actually cover her ears. So, and I've got a ponytail in, so it's a little, you know, but yeah, it's really, really cute. This is just done in plain acrylic yarn. You know, nothing spectacular. It is, my hair is a mess now. It's Vanna's Choice yarn. My hair was a mess to begin with. It's Vanna's Choice yarn, a 100% acrylic yarn, and the colorway I think was called Fisherman or something like that. But it's a really nice hat. I mean, the solid color really shows off the beautiful cables in this hat. I just think it's stunning. And then this really pretty patterning in between the cables. I absolutely love it. So yeah, I will link this pattern in the description box below. She has all sizes, right from toddler to adult, like adult large size. So if you have someone who has a slightly larger than normal head, it would absolutely fit them. But yeah, so you know, you get a lot of different size patterns. You could do them for the whole family. And I mean, really, I did take a break in knitting this, but this is a project that you could finish on a Saturday. Like seriously, it's that you know, really, really intuitive and really easy, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, so there is that. And then the other thing I finished were my mittens. Let me take off my rings so I can show you guys properly. With these mittens, I tend to take off my rings and then put them back on once I put the mittens on. So I got both of them done. These are my fingerless mitts. The pattern is called Something Wicked, and it's by Kristen at Vine Yarns. This one looks a little bit funny again because I got my Fitbit and stuff like that on, but there they are. I absolutely love them. The color is The yarn is from Sunrise Fiber Company, who no longer dyes yarn, unfortunately. And it is her DK base, or her DK. And the colorway is pumpkin spice latte. Pumpkin spice latte was the colorway. So there's where I was. I haven't shown you guys these in a few weeks. So there's where I was the last time I showed you. And literally, no joke, I finished this mitt yesterday. Like from here to here, I finished yesterday. And then I got done and it was like 8:30 at night. And I'm just like, all I have to do is the thumb. And I'm like, no, I need a break. So I put them down and then I did the thumb in about 20 minutes. It took no time at all. So yeah, so I am super duper happy with them. They're going to be so cozy warm. My only thing is with the pattern. I feel this is a little bit long. But you can always just fold it over if you want to. Like if you don't care for it yourself, you can just fold it over and there you go. But then that feels too short. So I should have done a few shorter rows. I could rip it out and redo it, but I can't be bothered. It'll probably actually be a good thing. I really like these for driving. You know, to keep when your hands are on the steering wheel in the wintertime, which I think is great. Fingerless mitts are not meant to get you through the winter. Let's put it that way. I live in a cold climate. I live in Canada. So your fingertips are going to freeze if you're wearing these as your normal mittens in the wintertime. You need something that actually covers your hands. But I like these for driving and stuff like that. Like if I was going to go out with my niece or something and throw snowballs around or something, no, I would be wearing proper mittens. But these are, you know, and I do have a pair of fingerless mitts that are a little bit more plain that I actually keep at my desk at work because my hands tend to get cold in the wintertime. And inside the office, they're great, like if you're typing away on a computer. So yeah, I absolutely love them. Totally happy with them. So I've now cast on another pair of these for my mother for Christmas. The difference is hers are actually not going to be fingerless. I'm actually going to finish them and make them into true mittens. But this pattern is going to be the same. So, and they're in a different color. They're in like it's called Barn Red, I think is the color. So I'll show you guys that one next week. So that's what I finished. So let me show you, what I'm currently working on. I'm currently working on my sweater and my other pair of, socks. I cast on Mom's mittens, but I'm not very far into them. I'm only a couple rows, so there's no point in me showing them to you. Actually, maybe I will. Where did they go? Excuse me. Yeah, I will show them to you guys just because why not? So, and just to show you guys the color. So I've got them cast on and I've only done like half the rows of ribbing at the bottom. So there, it's like a dark blood, almost, I hate to say it, blood red, but it's really pretty. And I think it's gonna, because it's a solid color, it's gonna really show the cables really well. So yeah, so I gotta get working on these because these are my other Christmas present that I need to finish. But really, it's the 1st of December. I've got lots of time to finish those. And like I showed you guys, I've knit almost an entire mitt in a day. So it can absolutely be done. And this one is living again in my sloth bag that I used for my aunt's hat because it's a Christmas sloth bag. I'm going to use it as much as I possibly can because it's super cute. So I'll throw that in there. I did cast on a cowl for myself, but I'm not going to show you guys that until the mittens are done because I need to get the Christmas presents done first. So anyway, sweater. I've gotten quite a bit of work done on my sweater this week. So I've got the sleeves on hold. That's what the holes are. Those are the sleeves. And I put this on tonight and I tried it on and it fits, which is always good. So the reindeer, because I'm going for all the Christmas things right now, the reindeer is where I was, and then that's how much I've gotten done. I'm just knitting the body now. I think I'm about 3 or 4 inches into the body and I need to go to 12. When I get to 12, I'm going to try it on and see how long it is. I like sweaters that like halfway down my butt. You know, like if you think about it, like not covering your butt, but like that halfway point. So, you know, that's the beauty of doing hand knit garments is that you can, even though the pattern might show that it's however long, you can make it longer or shorter depending on your own preference, right? So yeah, so it's just back and forth knitting at this point. Knitting and purling, and I'm really enjoying it. I still really love the color of this. It's going to be really cute. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. And then I cast on my new socks. So the socks that I cast on, oh, bag's all the way over there. Darn it. I moved that to a Christmas bag. I'll show it to you guys next week. It's Santa and the reindeer hanging out at a motel, like, and swimming and stuff. It's like after Christmas. It's really cute. But living in this Christmassy bag right here are my new socks. And I showed you guys in my last vlog the yarn that I unwrapped. So there it is. Here it is all balled up. Isn't that pretty? Oops. Let me fix that just a little bit there. And I've just got the toe cast on, and I've just kind of gotten these started. But the colorway is called Tannenbaum, meaning, of course, Christmas tree. But I've just got the little toe done so far. So not terribly exciting. I am doing a pattern in these socks. The pattern is called the Atlantic Current socks, and they're a really great, still a basic sock pattern, but it gives you a little something to do. So essentially what you're doing is slip stitches. Do you see that orange stitch? You'll see this a lot more when I get more knit on this sock, but it ends up with these slip stitches that go up the leg and then up the foot and then up the leg. So yeah, because I always do mine toe up. So yeah, love them. I prefer toe up socks because like especially like now I know what fits me. I know how many stitches per inch I get depending on the size of needles and blah blah blah. So I know in my head exactly how much I have to knit. But if you're a newer sock knitter and you're not sure of your sizing and stuff, or if you're knitting for someone who you've never knit socks for before, right? The beauty part is that you can try them on and see if they fit as you go, which is always spectacular. So yeah, I really love that green. I mean, that is such a bright, beautiful green. So these are gonna look spectacular. So yeah, so that's all my knitting. I know, it was a lot. But let's get into what I've been reading today. So, I'll start off with my audiobook. I started Moonlight Over Manhattan by Sarah Morgan, which is the 6th and final book. Oh, I'm going to put my rings back on. 6th and final book in the From Manhattan with Love series. This is Harriet's story, and this one is really adorable. The storyline is sort of kind of a little bit similar to Miracle on Fifth Avenue, which was the other Christmas book in this series, in my opinion. There are parallels to it, and that in this story, Harriet ends up meeting this doctor, this ER doctor. She ends up hurting her ankle, and she goes into the emergency room and she meets this doctor. So she kind of thinking about him. He's really good looking, that whole thing. And then with her dog walking business, one of her clients had to fly to California to look after her daughter who was in a car accident. And she's leaving her dog with her brother. Well, the brother turns out to, of course, be the doctor. And the dog is having a very difficult time adapting to living with the brother, or with this doctor guy. Ethan is his name. And so anyway, she ends up moving in with him to take care of the dog. And so that's where it parallels, in a way, Miracle on Fifth Avenue, because that's what happened in that book as well. That Eva ended up moving in with the writer. I can't remember his name right now. Because she was kind of his muse, where in this case, Harriet's looking after the dog. So that's about the point that I'm at now. It's a 9-hour audio book, 9.5-hour audio book, and I'm about 4 hours into it. So I'm about 40%, I'd say, through it, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I usually, because this one I borrowed from the library, I usually listen to my audiobooks or read my my ebooks from the library on the Libby app, which is the one I prefer. It's also by Overdrive, but I find it's more user-friendly. But unfortunately, I have been in contact with Libby technical support for the past 2 days because it's not working on my phone. It's working on my tablet, so I can read, a book on it, but I'm having major issues with the tablet, or with using it on my phone. So I was in touch with them on Friday, so hopefully they'll get back to me, next week. But I mean, I have the Overdrive app now downloaded on my phone. I don't download books onto my tablet because I do have a 32 gig chip that's in my phone. I could buy one for the tablet, but I don't want to because I don't download that much onto the tablet. I more use it for other things. So anyway, regardless, yeah, so that's that. So I'm enjoying that one quite a bit. My current ebook is also a Sarah Morgan book. It just so happened because I was doing a random pick for what ebook to start off with, and it was this one, and it is Christmas. I'm still calling it Christmas Ever After because I like that title better. It's the UK title, but it is, I think, One Enchanted Moment or Some Enchanted Moment. It's the 3rd book in the Puffin Island series, and this is Skylar's story, and I haven't read that much into it yet so far. I plan on doing some more reading the remainder of tonight, and she was dating this guy who is a complete jerkface. His name's Richard. So you've heard about her relationship over the first couple books, and he's just proposed to her in more of a kind of like a what? How do I describe Richard? he is, well, he's political. He works in the Senate, I think, in New York, and he took time out of his oh so busy schedule to fly in to see her because she had a showing in London, England. She is a jewelry designer, and this was like her big break, her big moment, and he still made it all about him. He got up and did this whole speech about himself and how great it was to, shake hands with all these people, and pretty much one of those kind of political type figures. And then he goes ahead and proposes to her. This all happens right at the very beginning of the book. And, she's kind of taken aback because he's still making it about himself. So she essentially pretty much realizes that she never really cared about him, and a lot of other things that he did that, just to try and win her over in a way. Because of like not political alliances, but she's from a very well-to-do, well-respected, family, and I guess kind of like a family alliance kind of an idea. So she's going to end up having some sort of relationship with this friend. I think his name is Alec. And he's like this famous historian who goes after like sunken ships and stuff like that. But they don't get along. So it's definitely going to be an enemies to lovers type story. And I'll let you guys know more as I continue to read it. Trying to think. Oh yeah, excuse me. Sorry, I got to reach here. The other two things, I did start The Battle for Christmas by Stefan Nessenbaum. This is a social and cultural history of Christmas. I was doing a lot of reading of this today. I'm actually, how many pages? I'm 50 pages into this. This is a denser book. So I wanted to get, a bit of reading done on this one sooner rather than later this month, so I didn't get bogged down by it later in the month, because this is for, of course, my holiday book bingo. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. The first chapter has really talked a lot about the Puritans and how they didn't celebrate Christmas and why they didn't celebrate Christmas, but some of the people who did decide that even though they weren't supposed to by law and could have been fined 5 shillings for doing so, still chose to celebrate in their own way. And how it used to be, like not even Puritan times, but even before that, and how it used to be like, this whole Lord of Misrule thing where, the peasants would become, the well-to-do, and the well-to-do would have to serve them, and all the different cultures and the different things that happened back then. It's very, very interesting. A lot of it I already knew because I do know a bit about the history, but the chapter we're getting into now, he's talking about Clement C. Moore's poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas, or that's how I know it. Well, A Night Before Christmas, the Night Before Christmas poem. But it also goes by, of course, the name A Visit from St. Nicholas. So he's talking about that, and that's, and stuff like that. So yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. It's very entertaining. It is dense. I find nonfiction books, depending on the nonfiction book, tend to be a bit more dense. But there's a lot of pictures and stuff like that in this book, so it makes it just, a little bit easier to read. This one, I do actually prefer my nonfiction on audio for that reason, because I do find them a little bit easier to consume. But yeah, I'm enjoying this one so far. And the last thing I got a bit of reading done today was this one, my Harlequin book, A Celebration Christmas by Nancy Robarts Thompson. This is about a man who takes in his best friend's 4 children after his friend was killed in a car accident with his wife. The friend and the friend's wife were killed in a car accident. So he takes in their 4 kids over the month of December because social services is going to try and place them, or child care, child welfare, I'm not sure what you guys call it in the States, take the kids, like, to find them a home, but he wants to keep all of them together. So, of course, that's a lot more difficult when you're talking about 4 children. And he hires this nanny, her name's Lily, and she is going to kind of be there to look after the kids, and of course a romance ensues between them. So yeah, it's pretty cute, and I'm really enjoying it. So, a bit of a longer clip. The first ones of the day of the week usually are. And that's it, and I will talk to you guys in tomorrow, actually. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning with my new tea and yarn for the Advent. Talk to you then, guys. Bye. Good morning, BookTube. It is December the 2nd. It's Sunday, and it is just a few minutes after 8 a.m. I'm getting ready to head out the door to go meet my mom for bingo, so I thought I would do my calendar's opening right now. I'm going to try and do this one-handed. I didn't want to do my whole setup because I don't have time right now, but I'm going to do that, and because I want to take my tea with me to bingo this morning, so let's go ahead and open it up. So, like I said, it's the 2nd. Already I'm having problems doing this one-handed, you guys. So here we are, the 2nd. Come on out. Oh. So there is the 2nd of December. So let's see if we can get this open. Somehow, can I do this? Am I good enough? You guys get the faces this morning. Tree's not lit up, nothing like that. It's early, I'm heading out the door. Sorry for the shaky cam. Come on. There we go. All right, so what have we got this morning? Oops, turn up the right side up. It's a rooibos. Cinnamon rooibos. I can't have it. I actually have an intolerance to cinnamon, you guys. Oh, that's disappointing. But that's the cinnamon rooibos. So yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. I can't smell anything through the package. I might try it you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it this afternoon because I've never actually had it. So it depends on how much cinnamon is in here. I have an intolerance to like actual cinnamon. It upsets my stomach. So I don't want to chance it if I'm going out, but maybe I'll try this afternoon and we shall see. So that is that one. So let me put that one back. I'll do back in there. All right, let's close this up. And let's grab the other calendar and let's find out what yarn we have today. Yeah, I knew there was at least like 1 or 2 in the David's calendar that I didn't either like or couldn't have, so I'm not too sure. Like I said, I'll try it this afternoon and I'll report back. I do like the taste of cinnamon. Where's the second? Where's 2? That one's missing. Ooh, okay. Yes, this is one that I knit this year. So there's my yarn. This is my Toil and Trouble colorway from Fiber Stash Dye Works. And I knit a pair of socks out of this. So this was my little mini from those socks. So I will put this in my blanket today. Anyway, guys, that's it. This was just a quick update. I will talk to you later today. Bye. Hi, BookTube. It is December the 3rd, and it is just about 7:30 in the morning. I am just making my coffee in the Keurig, and I've been awake for about 20 minutes, half an hour. So you get this lovely first thing in the morning appearance. And yeah, so I thought I'd sit down and open up my advent calendars. First of all, I do apologize for not getting an extra clip up yesterday. I got almost 0 reading done yesterday. Nothing read on my audiobook. I got maybe a chapter read in my ebook. So yeah, so I'm hoping to get, today's going to be a day of reading. So I hope to get the audiobook finished and one of the ebooks that I'm reading finished. I have a Kindle Unlimited book that I'm currently reading, The A Mountain Man for Christmas. So that one's relatively short. I'm hoping to finish that one today and get at least halfway through my other ebook, the Sarah Morgan Christmas Ever After. If you can hear that noise right now, the cat's chewing on the Christmas tree directly behind me. So anyway, that's my coffee brewing, as you can probably hear in the background. So let's open some calendars. So an update yesterday, I will show you my blanket square tonight when I do my reading update from yesterday and today. But the tea yesterday I ended up drinking, the cinnamon rooibos. It was quite good. I don't know if it's one that I would purchase going forward, but I liked it. I was actually able to drink it with no problems. I do have an intolerance to cinnamon and to bananas of all things. But again, it's more the pure form. So if I had something that had cinnamon sprinkled on it, like actual cinnamon sprinkled on it, I would have a problem with it. But if it's baked into something like a pie or cookies or something like that, I'm perfectly okay. Banana's the same. Like I can have banana bread and banana muffins and stuff like that. But if I was to eat an actual banana, because of the amount of potassium in it, it upsets my stomach. So those are 2 foods I have to generally avoid in their pure form, like as they are, which makes me sad because I love bananas. I've always loved bananas. But anyway, so let's open the calendar for today. We're going to try and do this again one-handed. Sorry about my coffee maker that you guys can hear in the background. So today is the 3rd. So what do we have today? The 3rd. There's the 3rd for our little box. Let's open this up and see what we have. Again, faces. Come on. Sorry, guys. It's fighting with me this morning. I don't want to rip the box. Alright. I got the box open. Today we have... Oh, I can smell it. Today we have... Ooh, is it? caffeine free. It's Let It Snow. This is one of my favorites. This is a herbal or a low caffeinated tea. I don't think I've had this. Okay, this one is different from Snow Day because Snow Day is one of my favorites. So bear with me just a second here. Let me see. Let me read the back of the box. Bear with me just a second because I know Snow Day is one of my absolute favorites, but I'm pretty sure this one is obviously different because it's not called Let It Snow. It's a spiced eggnog, you guys. I honestly don't think I've had this one before. Snow Day is what I was thinking, but Snow Day is in here as well, and I also have it in my cupboard. But Let It Snow is a spiced eggnog. I will update you guys later on my thoughts on that one. So let's get into the mini skein. Sorry for the bad camera angles, you guys. Let me see here. Where's the third? Down here at the bottom. Oh, oops. That was easy. Hold on. Today's yarn. This is... I don't remember who the yarn dyer is. I'll have to look it up. But this one, this yarn came from my shawl, my purple shawl that I made this year called my Free Your Fade, which had the light purple, the dark purple, and like the middle, like the 3 shades of purple in it. That's what this is from. So I'm going to have to look it up, and I'll let you guys know tonight who the yarn dyer was on this one, because I'm pretty sure I do have that information. But yeah, so that's today's mini. So I'll show you both the minis, and I'll update you guys on the tea tonight. Anyway, that is it. I will talk to you later today. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It is Monday night, and I am coming to you with a quick update. It has not been the best day today. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not in the mood right now. I'll probably tell you guys in the next few days, but for right now, it hasn't been a good day. So, first of all... I'm trying to stay positive. Let me show you the blanket because I didn't show you guys yesterday or the day, or yeah, yesterday's or today's is what I have to show you. So let me, oh, that's perfect. It's right there at the top. Okay, so bear with. So that square is the one from Sunday. That is the Toil and Trouble from Fiber Stash. And then this one that I didn't know the name of this morning, I checked my Ravelry page of the shawl that I made. And this is from a company called Shipwrecked Sheep. They're Shipwrecked Sheep, say that 3 times fast. And it's a one-of-a-kind colorway though. So yeah, so that's that one. So those are the 2 squares that I've put into my blanket. For today's tea, I got Let It Snow. Don't think I like it, you guys. Yeah, I'm not a fan. It's not horrible. Judging from my face, you're probably thinking, no, it looks about horrible. I'm not a fan of eggnog. And this is like an eggnog inspired tea. So maybe if you like eggnog, you might enjoy this tea. It's not for me. So yeah, I'm not loving it. It's got a very nutmeg smell to it. But that's not what I'm tasting. I'm tasting it's very sweet. So yeah, not a fan. But what I am a fan of is my cute hedgehog mug from David's Tea. Just because he's super cute. But yeah, so that's my tea and knitting kind of update for today. Book-wise, because I didn't update you guys on the books. So I finished 2 books today. So that's exciting. I finished, my first one I finished was my audiobook. And that was Moonlight Over Manhattan by Sarah Morgan, the 6th and final book in the From Manhattan with Love series. This was really, really cute. I have talked about this book a little bit already. It is the story of... Why am I totally blanking on her name now? Harriet. I wanted to call her Henrietta. Harriet and Ethan. And they meet by chance in the ER when she bruises up her ankle. He's the attending physician. And then they meet again because she runs the dog business, like the dog walking business, the Bark Rangers. If you guys read the series, I think that's an adorable name for a company, a dog walking company. And she ends up looking after Ethan's sister's dog, but the sister has to go away, you know, blah, blah, blah. The dog ends up staying with Ethan, and she's, of course, going to walk the dog, so they meet up again. And, you know, the story kind of goes from there. Super cute story, takes place at Christmas time in Manhattan. I absolutely loved it. I have not updated my Goodreads yet today for this book or the other book that I finished, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to give this one 4 stars. What I really loved about this one, and for people who have read Sarah Morgan, but more than just her most recent stuff, like the From Manhattan series and the Christmas Sisters and stuff like that, there was I love, and I've with the Puffin, I think the Puffin Island series did this, the From Manhattan with Love series, and then now it goes into a third series of hers, which was actually the first books by her that I read. So let me explain. So at the tail end of this book, without giving too much away, Ethan and why do I keep blanking on her name? Oh my gosh, I'm having a day today, you guys. Harriet. Why am I having a hard time with Harriet? They end up going on vacation for a week in Vermont. And while they're there, they stay at a group of cabins. This group of cabins is owned, or this estate or resort or whatever you want to call it, is owned by 3 brothers, the O'Neill brothers. And one of actually the first books I ever read by Sarah Morgan was Sleigh Bells in the Snow, which was another Christmas book, and it is the first in the O'Neill brothers trilogy. So those books actually come before the Manhattan with Love, because when you read the 6th book, all the 3 brothers are already paired up with their significant spouses that they've met in their own books. If you have not read the O'Neill brothers trilogy and you're a fan of Sarah Morgan, of her contemporary romance, do yourself a favor and go ahead and read them. That was probably, I mean, I love this book, but as a fan of her writing, I was so thrilled to see those characters make an appearance. That's why I love contemporary romance series. I love when these characters will just make an appearance, and it can be completely random. It can be so-and-so sitting in a coffee shop, and they go in and say hello, and you know what I mean, and you kind of get a tiny little glimpse of to what they're doing now, and I love that. I absolutely love that. So yeah, if you haven't read that series but you're a fan of Sarah Morgan, definitely go ahead and check that one out. I'm still reading my ebook, which is also another Sarah Morgan book, and that's Christmas Ever After, the 3rd book in the Puffin Island series. Again, if I remember correctly, the Puffin Island series and From Manhattan with Love do have a couple characters in common, like a friend, like that. Some of the characters are mentioned from one to the other, I think, in the first 3 books of the From Manhattan with Love series. Don't quote me, it's been a while since I've read them. But anyway, this is the 3rd book in that series, and this is Skylar's story, and I'm not very far into this. I meant to get further in it today, but I just didn't get a chance. I'm about, I think right now, about 30% of the way through it. I do plan on, it's almost midnight right now as I'm recording this, but I do plan on heading to bed. But I think I'm going to lay in bed and read for a bit, because I'm not exceptionally tired right now. I'm sure as soon as I lay down in bed within 10 minutes, I'll be like zonked out. But right now, I'm feeling confident I can get a little bit more read. But if not, I'll just do some more reading tomorrow. So anyway, yeah, this is Alec and Skylar's story, and she is a jewelry designer, and her parents are not at all pleased with what it is that she's not just a jewelry designer, she's an artist. She does painting and sculpting and jewelry making and all these things. At the beginning of the book, she has a exhibit at the this gallery in London, England, and their mutual friend, or her friend's friend Alec. Now, her and Alec have never gotten along. They've always bumped heads for whatever reason. He happens to be in London because he is a historian, a very famous historian, and they keep saying like how good looking he is and the shipwrecks and stuff, and I can't help but in my head think of, now a lot of you probably won't know who I'm talking about, and that's Dan Jones. And if you have Netflix, I know Steve Donahue's talked about Dan Jones in his books. He wrote a book on the Templars, he wrote a book on the War of the Roses, but he does this great series on Netflix and on the BBC in the UK, because he is British, called not America's, Secrets of Great British Castles. He is just a delight. I mean, he's young, he's tattooed. I'll be honest, he's very easy on the eyes. But that's who this character kind of reminds me of, this Alec character. So yeah, if you get a chance, if you like history, legitimately, if you like history, definitely check that series out. But anyway, that's who Alec reminds me of in this book, and he's also British and things like that. So anyway, I have to wonder if Sarah Morgan took some liberties when creating this character. But anyway, um, so the two of them kind of, he shows up at her event to kind of offer support, even though his whole plan was to go in, say hi, your friends Brittany and so say hello. I'm gonna leave now. But then something happens with this guy that she was dating. He's pretty much a jerk, and Alec ends up taking care of her. And I don't want to get too much into what's happened, but she ends up going with him to his parents' house in the country, in the English countryside for a week to get over what kind of happened to her. And yeah, and then the story's going to go from there. So that's about the point I'm at right now, and I'm really enjoying it. Out of, like, I really enjoyed the Puffin Island series, but this one already is shaping up to potentially be one of, like, my favorite of the trilogy. So yeah, so I'm really, really enjoying that. And, oh, the other book that I finished, because I did say I finished 2 books, I also finished A Celebration Christmas by Nancy Robards Thompson. I finished this one earlier today. This was a cute story, a great little contemporary romance. It is, I think, book 7 in the Celebrations Inc. series, which is a small town in Texas, and they kind of deal with, like, celebrations and wedding stuff and things like that. And this story is about a man whose best friend passed away. This best friend and his wife were driving, and there was a car accident, and both of them passed away, and they had 4 children. So our main character, whose name is escaping me, Cullen, he agrees to take the 4 children for a month, and it's the month of December, and look after them until social services can find a home that all 4 of them can go to. So because he's a doctor and he's very busy and he pulls 18-hour shifts at the hospital, he hires Lily, our female lead, to come in and be a nanny to the children. And of course, contemporary romance, where the story's going to go. It's adorable, it's sweet, it's a great Christmas story, and I recommend it. I think I'm probably going to go with about 4 stars on this one too, because I really did like it quite a bit. And that's really all. I'm almost done my Sweet Valley High book. Playing with Fire is the 3rd book, is the one I'm reading. I've got about 2 chapters left on it. I should get that one done tomorrow, actually, so that'll be great. And I'll get to start a new audiobook tomorrow as well. So yeah, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Yeah, I'll update you on kind of what's been going on around here tomorrow. And that's about it. I'll talk to you guys then. Bye, guys. Good morning, BookTube. It is December the 4th, and it is about 8:15 in the morning. I just woke up about 20 minutes or so ago. I did sleep in a bit this morning, which was kind of nice. And yeah, so I thought I'd come to you guys this morning and do my unboxing, like my Advent unboxings. I'm gonna quickly mention what I kind of mentioned last night, because I just want to let it be known what's kind of going on. Like I said, yesterday was a bad day. There was some stuff that happened last week at my husband's work. I'm not going to get into the whole thing about what it's about. But needless to say, yesterday he ended up having a meeting. It was an altercation with another employee. Garrett reported it, and pending investigation, both him and the other guy were sent home on Thursday. So he lost his pay for Thursday, the rest of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, because his days are Tuesday through Saturday that he works. His weekend is Sunday, Monday. Anyway, he goes in yesterday for this meeting, and he was in there for about an hour or so, and I waited at his work outside in the car for him to come out. And when he came out, we found out that he had been fired. So yeah, so my husband's now without a job, 3 weeks before Christmas, and after I've been off for about a month with no pay. So yeah, it's fun around our house right now. I'm trying to be positive. This is a good thing. He hated that job. It was a very well-paying job, great benefits, all those things, and I'm more angry at the fact that he did the right thing by reporting it and still got the crap end of the stick, essentially. So it's going to be a little stressful for us for the next little while, financially and stuff like that. I have a doctor's appointment today, and I had planned on this over the weekend before hi Goran, before this even all happened, that I'm actually going to ask to go back to work on Monday, like on the 10th, because I feel like I'm ready to go back. I feel good. Are you picking the chair? Of course he's picking the chair. I'm not doing anything right now. I'm planning on going back to work anyway. So to be completely honest, between the two of us, we made good money, right? So with just me going back, we'll be okay financially. We're not gonna have a lot of room for extras, but there will be, we'll still be okay. And we don't generally spend a lot of money at Christmas time, other than on my niece and nephew and on his kids. So we'll see how that plays out in the weeks to come. He last night filled out all the forms and stuff like that for employment insurance, which I'm not sure if you guys have that in the US, but here in Canada, on pretty much every check that you make, every paycheck, you pay a small percentage to EI, or unemployment insurance. And then if you get let go from your job, like if you walk out and quit, it's a different ball game. But if you get let go from your job, you can apply for that, and then you get a small percentage of your income every week. And you've got to be actively looking for work, and it only lasts for so long. And it's not a permanent, it's not meant to be. But at least it's going to help in the long run. So that's a good thing. So yeah, so I'm more angry about what happened to him. He's been with the company for 6 years. He was a senior employee, more senior than some people. The company that he worked for tended to be a revolving door. They get a lot of young people come in, or a lot of people come in, and they'd only stay for so long. It was a distribution warehouse, essentially. And, I just, right now it sucks because of the timing. Because, like, if I had been working, it wouldn't be as big a deal. But now we're going to try to have to play catch up to a lot of things. So, because we were kind of counting on his paycheck to help us do that. But that's not going to be the case now, right? So, for the month of December. So once January hits, we should be a lot better financially. But it's just trying to get there at this point right now. So, yeah. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to the doctor tonight. I'm going to ask to go, if they can sign me back off to work on Monday. I'm going to take the rest of this week too, because he's off, I'm off. We're not really going to get this chance again for a while, for the both of us to be off, because if he gets a new job in the near future, he might not be able to take any vacation time. So, even though we have no money to really do anything, at least we can kind of hang out together. And, like I said, this might be a good thing, because the job that he was working, it was a 24-hour warehouse. So his hours were 3 in the afternoon till 11 o'clock at night. So as you guys know, if you watch these vlogs, a lot of the times I was like, I gotta go out soon and pick up my husband. And now that winter's hitting, it's actually gonna be kind of nice that I don't have to go out and pick him up. So you've always got to kind of look at the silver lining, and that's the kind of person that I am. So yeah, so that's what's been going on. I'll update you guys tonight on what my doctor said and what's going on with that. But in the and I spoke to insurance yesterday. I don't think I told you guys that, but I should have an answer on that on Monday. So I'm kind of hoping. I'm not counting on it, because you can't until I know. I'm not counting on anything, on getting any kind of money for the time that I was off, for the last month. But we shall see. So, excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, hopefully I was able to cut that out. Sorry about that, guys. So let's make it happy, and let's open this up. I was really in a bad mood last night, you guys. Like, I wasn't hungry. I didn't even feel like knitting. I watched some booktube, but I didn't feel like reading, so I didn't get a lot of reading done last night. All these books that I had finished beforehand. But now I'm in a better frame of mind. We're going to enjoy the rest of my week. It is what it is, If something catastrophic were to happen, we have family. And, that's not going to happen, so I'm okay. So anyway, let's open, shall we? Box number 4, today's. This calendar smells so good every time you open it, guys, seriously. I've got my coffee beside me on the table over here, because I'm going to sit down and update my Goodreads from yesterday, which I did not do. Is this not going to open for me? There we go. I'm going to update my Goodreads. I'm going to drink my coffee. And then I'm going to have my tea. Oops. Come here. Sorry. Trying to do this one-handed is a pain. I don't know why I keep doing it every time I sit down. It's just easier to sit here and hold the camera. So what have we got today? apple cider, you guys. Yum. Apple cider. This is a fruit infusion. It is a caffeine-free tea. You can't, I don't know why I show it to you guys. You can't really see it very well. But yes, it is apple cider. It smells so good. So I will definitely report back on this one. I've had it before. I really like it. But I'll report back again tonight, of course. And then, let me close this one up. And I'll open my yarn for today. So my yarn calendar is this one, of course. And the fourth, right up at the top. These ones are my, ooh, that's pretty. I don't know what it is. It's an unknown yarn. But isn't that pretty, you guys? It's almost Halloween-y, isn't it? With the oranges and the greens and the yellows and browns. Oh, that's really pretty. I don't know what that is. But I will show you guys the completed blanket square tonight. I got to wind this up. And yeah, I will talk to you guys tonight with a reading update. Let's hope for lots of good reading today and a good day. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Hi BookTube, it is Tuesday night and I'm coming to you with a reading update. It is just before 9 o'clock at night. My husband is watching the hockey game. Well, he's out of the room right now, but the hockey game is on my television currently. Toronto versus Buffalo. So yeah, so I did turn it down a little bit so I could talk to you guys. So anyway, update for today. As I had told you guys this morning, I did go see my doctor today. And I have been given the all clear to return to work on Monday. So I've got the rest of this week off, so that's okay. I plan on just kind of enjoying these last few days off before I head back into the office, before the craziness begins again. But it was actually very interesting. My doctor, I like my family physician quite a bit. Sometimes she veers too much one way. She likes to take a holistic approach where she can. And a lot of the times I appreciate that, but sometimes that's not quite. Like when I first started having these issues months and months ago, or probably over a year ago, with the whole anxiety issue I was dealing with, it was very much a, oh, just try some meditation or whatever. And that's not necessarily what you need to do. Sometimes you do need a break. And it was my cardiologist who finally said, you know what, maybe you need to take this little break. And I'm really glad I did because I really think it recharged my batteries. As adults with jobs, we finish schooling, and unless you're on a vacation or a long weekend, you really are pretty much working from the time you're about 20 years old until you retire. Unless you are out of work for some reason or, you're on maternity leave, but even then, I mean, kids are more work than anything. But you guys know what I mean. And, I've been working for almost 20 years and then with everything that happened, maybe I just needed a break. I don't know. But I was obviously suffering from anxiety and stress, high anxiety. So anyway, my doctor and I got talking and she was telling me, or we were talking about something and she asked like personality type and stuff like that. That's why I'm saying like she's a little bit more holistic in some of the things that she talks about. And she said to me, she says, just in talking to me, she says, I really do believe that you're a highly sensitive person. And I'm thinking in my own head, well, duh. I've known that for years. I've known that for even as a child, I think I knew that I was highly sensitive. I'm the kid who would be crying at a commercial, those ones that come on the TV, especially this time of year, with Sarah McLachlan, it's for the animals. I can't watch them. I can't. I sob. I absolutely sob. I cry often in books. There'll be a book that I just sobbed my way through the end of it. And, everybody else will be like, well, yeah, it was sad. But, meanwhile, I'm the one like bawling my eyes out. I can't watch scary movies. If you put me in a crowd of people, I can sense emotion. I know that sounds like, woo, you know what I mean? But it's not, even when I'm out with friends or something and, your friend will say, oh yeah, I'm fine. When they're not, I can just sense that they're not and I want to make it better. That's the problem. And with the situation we're dealing with now at work, it's been extremely difficult for me because, I pick up that phone and I can hear and feel the anger and the frustration of the person that I'm talking to, along with the other people in my office, and that's draining. It's, almost like an emotional vampire kind of an idea. So we were talking about it and she had this little quiz that she pulled up quickly. Like she's got her little tablet and pulled up on the internet. I guess she does this, or she has it often. She talks about it quite a bit to other patients. And so there's a quiz of 30 quick questions, and it's like yes or no answers, right? So it's like, it was relatively, I think it took us less than 4 or 5 minutes to answer through. Took her more time to read the statement to me than it did for me to answer yes or no to them. So if you scored more than 14, you were considered, now this isn't scientific or anything at all like that. You can get into more scientific studies to find out if you are in fact this kind of person, but it's a good place marker. So if you score more than 14, you're considered to be a highly sensitive person. I scored 24 out of 30. So yes, I am highly sensitive. So she gave me a couple names of some books to check out. So I went on the Toronto Public Library website and I looked at both of them. Both of them have, they're borrowed right now, like as ebooks. So I put holds on both of them. So I thought that would be really interesting. So I'm going to try reading them and see what I think. And if I like them, then I might go out and invest some money into them. But I want to kind of try them out first. So anyway, so that's the story of what happened today. I'm back to work today's Tuesday, so I still have 5 more days before I have to go back to work. So that's great. But yeah, so update on knitting and tea that I talked to you guys about this morning. So let me just remove this. Goran, as usual, is complaining. I don't know why I try and shove this big bag or this big blanket into this little bag. It doesn't make any sense. So there is today's square. Isn't that pretty? It knit up really, really pretty. I really like it. So yeah, so I'm up to 132 squares. Or 132. 332 squares now in the blanket. So that's exciting. So yeah, so that is that. And then my tea in my adorable Christmas mug from David's from last year. I really wanted to get this year. Guys, there's a mug from David's that I want so badly. It's a tumbler. And it's got flamingos on it, and they're wearing Santa hats. I love flamingos. I love flamingos wearing Santa hats. And I can't afford it. Maybe we'll see, once I'm back to work, if I get a little bit of overtime or something like that. Maybe I'll treat myself. I don't know. But I absolutely freaking love it. But anyway, this is my mug from last year with the, I almost said the flamingos. With the penguins. Penguins. I love one of my favorite animated movies, and I'm not a big movie watcher, is Madagascar, and the sole reason I love it is because of the penguins. They are the best part of that entire movie. The private may not survive. When he says that, and the one looks up and he's like, what? Smile and wave, boys, smile and wave. Anyway, reading update for today. Sorry, I'm getting a little punchy today. I did have a nap this afternoon, very brief. It was so funny. I laid down. I'm like, okay, I'll lay down for 45 minutes, and I set my alarm on my phone, and then literally I closed my eyes and the alarm went off, and I'm like, what did it go off early? And I looked at the time and I went, nope. It's just like boom. Anyway, reading update. Audiobook. I started a new audiobook today. I started listening to All I Want for Christmas is a Cowboy and this is an anthology by Emma Chase, Jennifer Ryan, and Katie Lane. This is only 5.5 hours long on audio. I kept thinking that I got the abridged version, but no, nowhere does it say it's abridged. The actual book itself, I looked it up on Goodreads, is just a little over 300 pages. So, but in retrospect, the audiobook for Moonlight Over Manhattan, now Moonlight Over Manhattan came in at 360 pages. The audiobook was 9.5, almost 10 hours long. This one was half the time and only 60 pages shorter. I don't know, maybe it all depends on the narrator and how quickly they speak and stuff like that. I don't know. I didn't have a difficult time listening to it. So I listened to the first 2 stories. I listened to the story by Emma Chase and Jennifer Ryan so far. I still have to listen to, I have about an hour and a half left on it. I still have to listen to the one by Katie Lane. So the first one was actually a very sweet story. It's out of the 2 that I listened to, it's my favorite. It's about a woman and her son, and they're chopping down a Christmas tree, and they get stuck in the forest in the snowstorm, and they get lost, and they end up getting pointed by this old man that nobody knows who it is to this cabin, and they end up staying there, and then this other man shows up, and I guess he was directed to the cabin as well. It's on his family's property. He was out hunting, and of course they spend 2 days sequestered in this cabin with this little boy, and trying to celebrate because they're there on Christmas Eve and then into Christmas Day. So it was a very sweet story. It was a clean story. I enjoyed that, obviously. I mean, there's, they were entertaining, like they had a little kid as a chaperone, essentially. And I really liked it. I think when I read anthologies, um, I tend to rate each story separately, and then I will average that rating out depending on the number of stories in the anthology, and then give an overall rating for the book. That one I'm giving 4 stars because I really, really liked it. The next one I listened to was the one by Jennifer Ryan that I did not like at all. I don't know what it was. For what bothers me when it comes to novellas, especially romance novellas, when a bulk of the story is taken up by the physical relationship, I want more of the story. I don't, I don't mind a good adult scene, but when it's like the entire second half of the novella, it's a little much. So that one I didn't love. It was a story about a woman who is in love with her brother's best friend, and the two of them don't want to start a relationship because they're afraid of what the brother's going to think. And then when the brother does find out, it's like no big deal. It's like, yeah, so what? I don't care. So in all this time, somebody just had to ask him. Again, it's a common trope in romance novels. If somebody just had a conversation with someone else, none of this would have happened. So that story I'm actually only giving 2.5 stars to. I didn't care for the story itself. I just felt it wasn't. And I like Jennifer Ryan. I read her before. This one was just probably a dud. So that one got 2.5 stars. And then that one kind of soured me from reading the third one. I was just kind of like, no, I'm done listening to this today. Because I could have absolutely finished this book today. But I just didn't. I couldn't get into the, I didn't want to start listening to the third one. I just was. After this disappointment of the story before, I didn't want to jump ahead or jump to the next story. So I'll listen to that one tomorrow. So that's not such a big deal. I'm still reading on ebook Christmas Ever After by Sarah Morgan. I am really enjoying this one. I'm a little over 50% of the way through it. My goal for today is to get to 70-something%. So I do plan on doing some more reading tonight. So I shall definitely get there before I go to bed tonight. But yeah, I'm still really enjoying it. I'm really, really liking Skylar and Alec. I think out of all 3 of the Puffin Island series, and I don't want to say too much just yet because I'm only halfway through the book, but this one could potentially be my favorite in the series. I just absolutely love it. Yeah, I'll talk more about it when I finish it. That'll probably actually be tomorrow I'll finish it. But yeah, really, really enjoying it. And I picked up a new Harlequin book because, as you guys know, I always have one on the go. And I got an oldie because I I look at my shelves and I figure, because I do have a list on Goodreads of all the books I own in print, like all my Harlequin print books. And I actually do, I randomize a number and then I just count through and find. Well, I was looking specifically for Christmas books for the month of December because I kind of picked these ahead of time. And this one was picked, and I was so thrilled because it's an oldie but a goodie, you guys. Roses for Christmas by Betty Niels. This is originally from, I want to say 1975. Original hardcover edition, published in 1975 by Mills and Boon Limited in the UK. Harlequin edition, published in December of 1976. So this is from the year my husband was born. And the year my parents got married. But yeah, so original cover price of 75 cents. So it says, I'll read the back for you because it's very, very short. Eleanor didn't like Falk van Hansom. Hensom is his name, sorry. When she was okay, let me start that again. Eleanor didn't like Falk van Hansom when she was a child. Now as a young woman, she found him as dictatorial, is that the word? Like a dictator? Dictating, I guess? And overbearing as ever. It was rather a problem, since she couldn't very well avoid him. But why did she feel so annoyed every time she thought of his pretty little fiancé? So it sounds like it's going to be a story about a young woman and an older man. Sounds interesting. I have not started it yet. I will start it tonight. I do put reading goals on. I like to finish these within a week. And I think because this one is a really short book, it's less than 200 pages, that I'm due to read 20 pages before I go to bed. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I love the old red sides, like the pages. These make me so happy. I just love them. I just love them. Absolutely. Like, let's talk about that car on the cover, you guys. That's kind of awesome. And his cardigan. He's handsome. Or he's supposed to be handsome. He does look a bit older than her. Looks like he's got kind of grayish hair. I don't know. Any of you guys read this one? Because I know that they republished a bunch of books by Betty Niels, or they do quite often. So yeah, I'm interested. I'll update you guys as I read more about this one. Anyway, that is it for the clip for today, guys. I'll let my husband get back to his hockey game, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Morning BookTube. It is Wednesday, December the 5th, 2018, and it is just after 8 a.m. Me and Rudolph here over my shoulder are going to open my advent calendars this morning, so that's exciting. I am loving doing this every morning. I hope you guys are enjoying it. So, what was I going to say? There's something I want to talk about first. Yes. So, as I talked about yesterday was kind of a big day for telling you guys about personal stuff that we're kind of dealing with. I will be honest, I have not been in the greatest of moods since Monday night. You know, I've just felt like just sad, I guess, and mad, and, you know, all those things. And yesterday I got a lot of reading done yesterday, but I felt like I was in this funk, like I had this gray cloud kind of over my head, kind of an idea. And this morning I woke up and I feel good today. It is what it is. We're going to deal with it. We're going to be fine. You know, I always think to myself, what's the worst thing that could possibly happen? And, you know, the worst thing ever that could possibly happen is that somebody dies. I don't mean to sound morbid, but that, in my opinion, is the worst thing that could possibly happen. That's not going to happen. So, you know, knock on wood. So, you know, you know, in pertaining to this situation that we're dealing with. So it is what it is. And I'm actually looking forward to going back to work, you guys. Like, no joke. I am looking forward to it. So, talking about going back to work, as I mentioned it yesterday, I did not mention it last night because I was still kind of thinking about stuff. So, up here, right there above my finger, are all the library books that I've taken out that I talked about in my TBR for December, that I was going to read in December. Because I'm now going back to work, I am not going to have time to read physical books, to be completely honest, guys. I don't. In my day-to-day, you know, I'm usually reading an audiobook, an ebook, a Sweet Valley, or a Back to My Childhood book, as well as usually a print book, a small, you know. But to add another 5th book to the ever-growing pile of books I read every day, can't do it. So yesterday, I actually spent part of the afternoon going through my library, going through all kinds of things, and looking to see if I could find any of those books as ebooks and audiobooks, and I did. A couple of them are going to be gone completely. I'm not going to be reading them at all, because I couldn't find, like, either something available to me that I could borrow relatively quickly, you know, like as an ebook or an audiobook, and I didn't want to spend money, obviously. So, you know, one of my whole goals going forward is, you know, for 2019, for at least the beginning part until Garrett gets working again, will be how much of my library can I actually use? You know, my goal will be not to buy any books at all. So, and not because I am on a book buying ban. I'm not in a band. But, you know, and I think it'll be a nice challenge too, like, you know, to not buy anything, but to utilize my library, utilize Audible, utilize, you know, I will still be getting all my subscription stuff that I did decide, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, you know, that I am going to be still continuing to get. It's just that we're not going to have, like, money to, you know, necessarily be like, oh, hey, let's go and buy this, or let's go and buy that, you know. We can buy little things, but nothing major. So anyway, total side tangent, sorry guys. So I found all of them. Like, I found enough books to make my holiday book bingo in ebook or audiobook. So, you know what, and originally I had decided this as well, because this one, sorry, I'm just reaching over my shoulder here because it's on the floor. This one I was having a very difficult time with. This is the upside down. This is A Battle for Christmas by Stephen Nessenbaum. This was very dense, and I said that right from the beginning, and I was having a very difficult time reading this. So, you know, just not right now. Maybe if I have time off, I'll pick up a physical book. But for now, I'm going to utilize the overdrive part of my library. So anyway, I wanted to say that. I'm not going to tell you guys. I'm not going to go through what books I switched out. Some of them I got, like Duck the Halls I was able to get on audio. The Debbie Maycomer I was able to get on audio. The Sabrina Jeffries I got on audio. Bear with. The Fern Michaels I got rid of. I decided not to read that one at all. The Bella Andre one I got rid of because I couldn't find, that's not available on ebook, and I didn't want to spend the money on an, it's not available on audiobook, and I didn't want to spend the money on an ebook because I didn't have a copy, my library didn't carry a copy, or they do have a copy, but it's going to be like a 6-week wait or something like that, so I just said no. And the Santa's on His Way, the anthology by Lisa Jackson, and then that's probably going to have to wait. I do own a copy on ebook, but I don't think I'm going to have time to read it with the other stuff that I have to read. Sorry, my hair is horrific this morning. It needs to be washed so badly. I've been so lazy. I've been wearing, I haven't been anywhere. I've been at home. The only person I'm offending is my husband. That makes me sound horrible, but no, I've been lazy. You know, my hair takes a lot once it's been washed to brush through it and to blow dry it and stuff like that. So yeah, so anyway, I am going out today, so the hair is getting washed this morning. So it will look much better in the clip tonight. I do apologize. So anyway, so that's kind of the book situation. I am still going to be able to fill my bingo card. I'm super excited about that, and I'm not feeling any pressure about it. So that's always a bonus too. So let's open our morning calendar, shall we, guys? Again, I don't know why I keep trying to do this one-handed. So the first one, of course, is the David's Tea calendar. And today is day number 5. It's way down here at the bottom. Come on out. There we go. So day number 5. Hope you guys have been following me on Instagram and you're seeing like the pictures I'm putting up every day, showing off the tea and my blanket and my current, you know, I pick a book every day, you know, trying to mix it up a little bit. So today's tea is, oh, this one will not be getting drank at all. Sorry. Like I said, there was 1 or 2 in here, and I think I've gotten both of them now that I was a little unsure of. So I'm happy about that I won't have to deal with these. It's cream of Earl Grey. I'm not a fan of Earl Grey, you guys, so this one is not going to get drank. I'm going to put it aside. These packages are nicely sealed. I have a friend who loves this, and when I see her again, or maybe I'll put it in a package and mail it off to her, I know she's going to love it. I, on the other hand, do not. Sorry, I can't drink Earl Grey. It's, yeah. So I'll maybe swap out another tea. Maybe I'll have some, oh, I think I have white chocolate chai in here. Maybe I'll have a good joy tea from Teavana. Yes, they discontinued it last year. Those of you who are tea fanatics. Starbucks used to do their joy tea every Christmas. It's now been discontinued because Teavana, I guess, closed up shop. But I had a friend who worked at Teavana. And when they closed up shop, she gave me their supply of joy tea. I have 2 pounds of joy tea sealed. It is my favorite. So I think I might have that today instead. So let's open the other calendars. All right, yapping around way about tea. Today's calendar, where is number 5? Where is number 5? There it is. Number 5. Oh, this one is super recent, you guys, if you've been watching me for the last little while. This is the, I use this to make socks. It is Combat Boots and Baby Doll Dresses by Spun Right Round. So yes, so that'll be perfect. That'll get added into the blanket today. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. This has been long enough, and I'll talk to you tonight. Goran says good morning. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It is Wednesday night. It is about 10:45 at night, and I just realized as I sat down here, I think I'm wearing the same shirt I was wearing last night when I recorded. I assure you, it is Wednesday night. These are just my pajamas. So anyway, reading update and things like that. So first of all, I will show you the square that I've added to my blanket today. Let me find it. It's over here, probably where all the string is hanging out. So there it is. That is that is my hair. So much, I have at least 50% of this blanket is cat fur and my own hair. And you knit it in. It just happens. Is Combat Boots and Baby Doll Dresses by Spun Right Round. Very pretty. I do so love this colorway. I'm so glad I got it. So yeah, so that has been added into the blanket. And reading update now. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have a tea update for you guys because I didn't like, I know I don't like the Earl Grey tea, so that one did not get drank. So hopefully let's hope for a better tea tomorrow. But reading update, I realized I forgot today. I realized it this morning that I forgot to let you guys know last night that I finished another book yesterday. I finished the Sweet Valley High book, Playing with Fire by, of course, Francine Pascal. Actually, I think they're written by Kate Williamson, or Kate Williams, I believe is who the actual writer was. But anyway, I only ended up giving it 3 stars. It was not one of my favorites. There was a lot of fat shaming in it, and I think I mentioned this a bit maybe in my last vlog, that, you know, I know a lot of people now would call that to be problematic and things like that, but I think even at the original time that I read it, back when I did read it when I was, you know, younger, I think I had issue with it back then too. So it's not like, oh, you know, I was oblivious to that because it was, you know, for the time period it was written. No, I knew it wasn't nice back then. And, you know, this was an okay story. It wasn't, like I said, one of my favorites. Again, the fat shaming really bothered me. The manipulation. So the whole premise of this book is that Jessica has been trying to date Bruce for forever, it seems. And at least the last 2 books, because this is the 3rd book in the series. And she finally is now, but he's very controlling, very manipulative. You know, he's kind of seeing other people behind her back, and she's oblivious to it. And then it all kind of finally comes to a head at the end. And, you know, with the help of Elizabeth, her sister, she finds out the truth and stuff like that. So, yeah, again, not one of my favorites, but, you know, I am reading through the series. They're all not going to be perfect. And, yeah, so that was the book I finished yesterday that I forgot to tell you guys about. So I finished 2 books today. The first one was the audiobook All I Want for Christmas is a Cowboy by Emma Kane. I think I said yesterday I was saying Emma Chase. It was Emma Kane. I was editing the vlog up until this point this morning, and I realized that I had mistakenly said her name, so I apologize. Emma Kane, Jennifer Ryan, and Katie Lane. And the 3 stories, as I do with anthologies, and I think I mentioned this already as well, I rate each story individually, and then I average them out by the number of stories in the anthology and get the rating on the whole book. So the first story was my favorite. It was The Cabin, and it was the one by Emma Kane, excuse me. And sorry, Bernard's picking at his claw sharpener, as I like to call it. It was about a woman and her little boy who get stranded in a snowstorm, and they end up staying at this cabin, and this other man happens to be staying with them, and a relationship develops. It was my favorite out of all 3. I really liked it. The second story by Jennifer Ryan, I can't remember what it was called right now, but it was my least favorite. I talked about this one yesterday. I just didn't care for it. And then the third story was cute. I enjoyed it. It's about a woman who meets a man online dating and decides on a whim to travel from Hawaii to New Mexico to go visit him over Christmas because she was invited and originally had said no, and then changed her mind and decided to surprise him. She gets caught in a snowstorm and ends up staying again in a cabin, and this guy stays with her. They kind of start a little physical relationship while they're kind of snowbound together. And then, you know, truth comes out later and stuff like that. I liked it. I think I gave that one 3.5 stars. So I gave the first story 4 stars, the second story 2.5 stars, and the third story either 3 or 3.5 stars. I can't remember 100%. I'd have to look at my Goodreads. They are listed on my Goodreads. If you go on my review for this book, I listed in the review section each story, what it was called, and what rating I gave it. So overall, this one had about not quite a 3.5 star rating, more like a 3.25, but I don't rate like 0.25 or whatever. So I think I ended up giving it like a 3.5 or a 3 or 3.5. I can't remember. But anyway, I mean, it was fun. It was only less than 5.5 hours on audio. So it's a really quick audiobook. And yeah, I liked it. So I didn't start another audiobook today, even though I only had that one. I only had like an hour and a bit left on that one. I didn't feel like moving on to the next one. But my next audiobook is going to be A Cold Creek Christmas Story by Rayanne Thane. And this one on audio was 13.5 hours long, and I thought, how is that possible? You know, the last book I read, the anthology, came in at 306 pages, and it was 5.5 hours. This one comes in at 224 pages and is 13.5 hours. I thought, that can't be right. So I'm back on Goodreads, or not on Goodreads. I went back on Audible and I looked at it. And it doesn't list it in the title, but if you look at the cover of the book itself, it's actually 2 stories. So there's also another Cold Creek Christmas book in this one. So the actual audiobook I'm going to be listening to is only 7.5 hours long. I'm not going to listen to both of them, only the one that I am scheduled to listen to. So that's good. So I'll start that one tomorrow. So that was my audiobook. And then my ebook I finished today, which was Christmas Ever After by Sarah Morgan. The third and final book in the Puffin Island series. I love this one. I've talked about the premise already. It's about Skylar and Alec, and I really, really liked the story. I really liked the first half of the story pretty much takes place in London, and then they move on to Puffin Island. And when they got to Puffin Island, and you meet back up with Skylar's other two friends, the girls from the first two books, Brittany and Emily. It was really great. I love the friendship between the three girls, and even the bromance, if you will, between the guys. That's a lot of fun too. And Skylar has some issues she's dealing with her parents, and her family and stuff like that she's dealing with. Really, really good. I gave this one 4.5 stars. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then what else did I get any reading done on today? I didn't get any more of The Roses for Christmas by Betty Neals done. I'm going to do a little bit of reading on that one before I go to bed. And the other one I'm still reading is A Mountain Man for Christmas by Deja Voss. I haven't gotten any more read on that one. I plan on hoping to read another chapter or two of that one. I would like to get that one done in the next few days. It's less than 120 pages, and I just haven't been picking it up because I've been reading other things. I should have been finished it long ago, so I'd really like to get that one done by Friday. That's one of my goals. It's not for any challenge or anything at all like that. I would just like to get it finished and essentially get it off my currently reading page on Goodreads. But anyway, that's about it. Today was a pretty, normal, boring day. Nothing terribly we went out for dinner. Garrett and I went out for dinner with my parents, which was kind of nice. I've been doing that every Wednesday if you guys have been watching the vlogs while I've been off. I've been going over to my parents' house, and my dad and his sister go to the seniors center every Wednesday, and they play euchre. My mom doesn't play cards. She doesn't enjoy playing cards. But anyway, they go over and do that. Then they typically all go out for dinner. And I just happened to go over to my mom's house on Wednesdays to do some laundry. So it kind of works out really well. But I went over, and then I came and picked up Garrett, and me and my parents, Garrett and my aunt, all went out to Perkins for dinner, which was lovely. They got such yummy food there. But prior to that, when I was over at my mom's, I was getting my laundry done, and my nephew was there because she babysits him typically. My sister-in-law isn't working currently, but she's off because she had knee surgery on Friday, I think it was. She had the ligaments replaced in her knee. So it's not the easiest for her to get around and for her to try and lift my nephew and do things like that. So they're kind of giving her a break, and they're looking after Jonathan while she's kind of on the mend. And he is just, oh my gosh, he's 1.5 years old. He'll be 2 in the summertime. So he just turned, he's about 1.5 years old. He is just he doesn't stop. You turn your back for 2 seconds and he's grabbing at it. He loves electronics. He grabbed a hold of my tablet because I had it there with me because I was doing some knitting, and I used my tablet to read my patterns. And I had turned it off, and I went to go get a cup of tea, and my mom was in the living room with him. So it's not like people aren't watching him. But, I walked away, and I come back in, not a second later, and he's got my tablet in his hands, and he's got it turned on. It took me forever to figure out how to turn it on, and he's not even 1.5 years old. So, he just loves to press buttons. Supposedly this morning he called somebody on my parents' phone. My parents have a landline, and they have a cordless phone. And I guess he picked it up, and my mom, she turned and looked at him, and she could hear the buttons being pressed. And she could hear somebody going, hello, hello, on the phone. So she grabbed it, didn't know what to do, just kind of hung up, right? And then when my dad came home from playing cards, he said, oh, we figured out who Jonathan called. It was one of their friends that Dad plays cards with. So that was kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, he's adorable. He really, really is super sweet. He's got this habit now when you tell him no, which he must get told about 1,000 times a day because, he's always touching something or doing something. So you just say, no, Jonathan. And he puts his hands behind his back and he gives you this little look. Oh my God, it's adorable. I love him to pieces. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. And I will check in with you tomorrow morning. Bye, guys. Morning, guys. It is December the 6th, and it is just after 8 a.m. And I thought I would come to you with my calendar opening for the day. Yes, I'm going hands-free. I was watching back on the videos of me doing that. It is really awkward. of me trying to hold the camera and open these at the same time. So this is just as easy for me to prop the camera up. But yeah, so it is Thursday morning. I do not have a lot planned today. I want to get a lot of reading and knitting done. I have to work today on my mom's Christmas present. That is my goal for the day. And I have some audiobook to listen to, and I want to catch up on some booktube. I have 4 more days before I have to go back to work. So I want to try and watch as much booktube as I possibly can over the next few days so I can get sort of kind of caught up so I'm not falling behind once I get back to work. So yeah, so let's open up the calendars. So today's tea calendar, or for the tea, I did say it was the 6th, right? Yeah, it's the 6th. Okay. Right in the middle. It's the 6th of December. Let's see what we got here. I can never tell just from looking at the tea itself. Let's see. 2 in a row. 2 in a row that are not my favorites. How many? I thought that there were only 2 or 3 that I didn't care for. Maybe this is all of them. Yeah, no. Yeah, so 2 of the top ones I didn't like. Forever Nuts. I'm not a fan of this. I'll probably drink it. I can handle this as opposed to the Earl Grey one, which I don't like at all. But the Forever Nuts is just too, you're going to laugh, too nutty. I mean, it's like peanut butter. I don't want to, I love peanut butter. I don't want to drink peanut butter. So, but I'll probably try it anyway. It's been a while. Maybe my tastes have changed. So yeah, so that's today's. A little disappointing. I know now, at least, like towards the end of the calendar, I'm going to start to get the really good ones that I like. So that's a good thing. They're probably saving all those fun ones for closer to Christmas anyway. So let's see what our yarn is for today. Day number 6 is up here. Oh, it's another one I have to wind. So I don't know what this one is, but it's super duper pretty. Another purple. Oh, isn't that's showing up so true to color? Isn't that gorgeous? I have no idea what this yarn is, but it is super duper pretty. And it's going to look awesome in the blanket. So yay. So yeah, so there's my Advent little update for the morning, and I will check in with you guys again tonight. Bye guys. Morning everyone. It is just before 10 a.m. on the 7th of December. I've already had a very productive morning. Woke up, my husband was actually awake. He didn't sleep well last night, unfortunately. So the 2 of us went over to Walmart and we got all of our grocery shopping done. And I got my coffee, and I'm going to sit down and have my breakfast and my coffee. But I wanted to sit down and do my my Advent unboxings. But first of all, I do apologize for no clip last night. The night got away from me. I had absolutely planned to, and then I was crawling into bed, and it was late. It was after midnight. And I went and thought to myself, oh gosh, I didn't record, you know, an update for the day. So I do apologize for that. So I'll update you guys tonight on, like, you know, for the end of the week, kind of an idea of everything that I read over yesterday and today. I started a couple books. I started a new audiobook, A Cold Creek Christmas Story by Rayanne Thane. I should actually get that one done today because it's relatively short. And then I started my ebook, which is My Forever Home by Debbie Burns, the 3rd book in the Rescue Me series. So yeah, I'm not very far into that one. So yesterday, although I had a lazy day, I didn't get a lot of reading done. But that'll be the plan for today, because now it's 10 o'clock in the morning and everything that I had to do today is done. So that's always a bonus. So let's find out what our tea is for today. So what did I say it was? The 7th? The 7th. So it's up here. Let me open this up. We bought new treats for the cats. They usually get the Temptations treats. And we got them the Whiskas, and I think they're chicken and gravy. Yeah, they're a big hit in this house, so let me tell you. I think Gordon's now looking for more. Let's see here. And I had to do all my groceries for going back to work tomorrow. And we haven't had to do that for weeks, and I'm like trying to remember, what is it that I take to work for lunch and snacks? I'm like a little kid, no joke. And I sat down to record, so Bernard's going to pick. I got some more chai, you guys. This is a favorite of mine. I do have a container of it in the cupboard, so I am very much looking forward to having this one. I will talk to you guys about it tonight and what I thought about it. Gordon's staring at me, and Garrett's trying to get his attention. It's not working.
He's stepping on the head of the stuffed animal in the sidecar.
Oh.
He's like stepping on it.
Oh. Anyway, the 7th for my yarn. Where's number 7? Oh, there it is. That's why. It was white, so I couldn't see it. Oh, good, it's already balled up. Oh, did I use this one this year? I think this is one that I used this year. This might have been my Halloween color. I'm gonna have to go back into my scraps or into my projects and look. But I know this is one that I've used already. I will have to look it up and I'll let you guys know tonight. But yeah, so that'll be great. I'll put that in the blanket today. Anyway, guys, that is it. I will check in with you all tonight. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It is Friday night. It is about 10:30, and I'm just coming to you with a quick update because I am heading to bed in a few minutes. I've had a brutal headache all day long. I woke up and it was there, and it wasn't that bad. I took some Tylenol, had a little nap this morning because I don't think I slept well last night. It's sitting on this side right here, and I know that's always when I'm tired, when I'm overly tired. So anyway, I've been sitting here tonight. It was kind of there, and then it just over the last hour or so, it's gotten really bad. So I wanted to do a quick update before I went to bed because I did finish a book today. I finished reading A Cold Creek Christmas Story by Rayanne Thane. I think it's the 14th book in the Cowboys of Cold Creek series. It was a cute Christmas story, really, really sweet. It was about a man, and he's a single dad, and his daughter, I don't want to give too much of the story away, but his daughter was in a pretty brutal incident months earlier, and she almost died. So she spent, weeks in intensive care and stuff like that. And she still has some issues with her one arm. So they end up going back from California to Cold Creek. I think it's in Idaho. Because his grandmother just passed away a few months earlier, and he has been tasked with cleaning out her house. So of course, while they're there, he meets the local librarian, and it's a really, really cute story. Kind of getting the little girl to open up to people again, and a very cute Christmas story. The female lead, the librarian, Celeste, she's actually the author of a children's story about a magical reindeer named, I think, Sparkle. Sparkle's the reindeer's name. But yeah, I really, really like this one quite a bit. A great, great Christmas story, much like a Hallmark kind of Christmas story. It was a clean romance as well, so there was no adult content in this one if there's anyone who's interested in reading it. I listened to it on ebook, or I listened to it on ebook. I listened to it on audio. It is available as part of the Audible Romance package. It's actually that story and another story. I don't know I can't remember what the other one is called, but I didn't listen to the other one. I only listened to this one. So I can't talk, in regards to adult content or anything like that for the other story, but both of them are part of the Cowboys of Cold Creek series. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, I'm going to give that one about 3.5, maybe 4 stars. I haven't updated my Goodreads yet today, so I will do that tomorrow, so that'll give my final star rating. But at the end of this video, as I always do, I do all the books at the end with the pictures with the final star rating, so in case you're curious, you'll see it then. And I am still reading, my ebook is My Forever Home by Debbie Burns, the 3rd book in the Rescue Me series. This one is really sweet. It's about a woman by the name of Tess, who has spent the last year traveling around Europe. She, took her life savings and decided this is kind of what she wanted to do. She's one of those people who, she comes from a big Italian family, but she's never been able to finish anything that she starts. Different courses, it goes through at the beginning, she only lasted less than a year playing, softball or soccer or gymnastics, and then she even dropped out 2 years into vet school. She does work with dogs, and she's really good she has a natural ability to work with dogs, and she's trying to start her own business in regards to more holistic healthcare for dogs. And she meets Mason, and Mason is a baseball player, a professional baseball player. Now the stories take place in St. Louis, and this is what I find funny, that they will name other Major League Baseball teams, like he used to play for the Brewers, or he used to play for this other team. But in St. Louis, where the story takes place, he plays for the Redbirds, which is of course the Cardinals. But they don't actually name the Cardinals by name, which I thought was kind of interesting. At least not anytime, they just keep referring to them as the Redbirds, but it's capitalized. So, and then he was in a car accident. It's the end of the season because it starts in October. The story starts in October at Halloween. And he had been in a car accident a couple weeks before and broke his collarbone and stuff. So he's trying to heal up before spring training starts in the spring. And him and Tess have a chance meeting. And then they kind of have now, I'm about halfway through the book, they have kind of joined forces together to try and rescue this stray dog in Mason's neighborhood. He's been seeing the dog for months and months, but he can never get it to come close enough to him to actually like rescue it, essentially. And the one thing I did hear about this story going into it is that parts of it are actually told from the dog's perspective. And I just read one of those parts this evening, and it's sad. It tugs on your heartstrings for those of you who are animal lovers or dog lovers. And from my understanding is there are some more parts in the book that are just as, stuff that, again, if you're a sensitive person, towards animal plight and stuff like that, how the dog was treated since he was a pup and stuff like that, and living on the street, and kind of from his eyes, from his perspective. And it's a really neat take on it, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving this story, and again, already at where I'm at now, this whole series has been great. If you are a dog lover or an animal lover, definitely check this series out. But this one, I have a feeling, just might end up being my favorite out of the three that have been published. And I've read the first two as well. What else am I currently reading? My Harlequin book, Roses for Christmas by Betty Niels. I'm a little bit further into that one. It's funny because it was published in 1976. But it reads almost like the 1950s. I don't know, maybe that was standard back then. I haven't read a lot of books that were published prior to the early 80s, for romance novel wise. I mean, it's a clean story, and it's not that anything like that. It's just, it seems like a quainter time, like a simpler time, and it's quite nice. It's refreshing. I'm not loving the male lead. I guess that, like, again, I don't want to generalize on books, but maybe back then there was much more of the alpha male type type novels. But yeah, it's enjoyable and it's quaint, and I'm really enjoying it. It is actually available as an ebook. Like, I have the original. I'm reading the original publication, like the original book. But Betty Niels was I don't know if she's still. I don't think she's still alive. Don't quote me. She's probably somewhere going, yeah, I am. I'll have to look that up. But she was very prolific for Harlequin. And they have often republished her novels as the best of. And this one, I looked it up on Amazon, is available as an ebook, in case you're curious. So stay tuned. I'll give you more of my thoughts in my next vlog when I finish it. And I haven't read any of the Nancy Drew book that I started. I read literally the first page and haven't read any more, so I'm hoping to get more reading done on that over the weekend. But this is my last weekend before I return to work. I go back to work on Monday. I'm actually looking forward to it. It's been nice having this break and having this time and getting to get my thoughts in order and making sure health-wise everything was okay. But I'm now ready to get back to work, I think. And, like I said, the one bonus is that I'm back for 2 weeks and then we're off for 10 days between Christmas and New Year's. So that'll be a nice little break. And I didn't want to be off for too long, because it is nice getting up and having something to do every day. Like, putting on pants and going out for a job instead of staying in your pajamas all day. Anyway, guys, that is it for this vlog. I do hope you enjoyed it. I'm not sure how long it's going to be at this point. I don't remember how long some of the clips are and stuff like that. I think I missed two evenings giving you guys updates. Oh, updates on the blanket. Hold on before I let you go. For one, the tea. I didn't actually drink the tea today. I've been trying to drink a lot of water today because of the headache. So I didn't drink it, but like I said, I have had the s'more chai before, and I really, really like it. You can very much taste the chocolate and graham cracker in it. So if you like that, definitely check it out. But as for the blanket, I will show you guys the last 2 days squares, because I didn't update the vlog yesterday. So, pulling away here on the blanket. So this was Thursday's square. This beautiful purple one. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just absolutely love it. And then this was today's. And I said this morning I didn't know what it was. It was from a pair of socks that I actually knit last year. And it is Night Owl Fibers is the name of the yarn dyer. And the yarn is called Oktoberfest. And I bought that yarn at Stitches Midwest last year, I think. But yeah, it's a really, really pretty yarn and a really pretty, really cute little square. So yeah. So anyway, guys, that's it. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to take a leave and I'm going to go to bed. And I will talk to you all in my next vlog or my next video. Videos coming up next week. I haven't been mentioning this over the last few weeks, but I thought I'd give you guys a heads up. So videos coming next week on Tuesday is going to be my 1,000 subscriber Q&A, the answers, with Garrett and I. We're going to film that tomorrow. We've gotten a lot of great questions, so thank you all so much. I'm also going to be doing my January anticipated reads, so stay tuned for that. And then on Friday is my extra video, which you guys watched that, and I got a lot of comments that people are very excited about me doing these kind of extra videos on Fridays. It is going to be talking about a project that I'm going to be undertaking in 2019 to do with my reading. And yeah, anyway guys, I will talk to you in my next video. Until then, take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.